Good morning, my friends, my followers, my army of Trevorites and cultists and Instagram subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me this morning. It's Sunday, and the 7th of July, the day after England played Switzerland in the quarterfinals of the European Championships. And they won. Wow. Now, I'm hearing people saying, England were lucky this, England were lucky that. Let me just say stop. For the last God knows how many years, England have lost in penalty shootouts to everyone from France to Portugal to Germany. I mean, the hand of God by Maradona in 1986 World Cup. England have had constant setbacks. The referee was never on England's side, were they? No. So for the first time in a penalty shootout, England scored all 5 penalties and went through. And I am elated. Elated. Yes, Switzerland played better football. They played better football, but they couldn't get it across the line. England did, and they went through in penalties, and they're now in the semi-final, which is fantastic. Yes, and it is Sunday, the Lord's Day of Rest, and I must admit it is the Lord's Day of Rest, and relax. As I said, all things good come to those that wait, isn't it? Yes, sometimes it's best just to sit back, remain silent, and just to watch everyone losing their head around you, and just wait for that right moment and go, got you. Relax. Yeah. Listen, social media is fantastic. As I said many times, it's fantastic. It's good for getting messages across. It's good to connect with people. I've met loads of great people on social media, and I'm friends with many of them that talk to me. Is there such a thing as talking offline? Because it's always talking offline, but it's always on a line. You can't talk offline if you're using the phone. There we go. Yeah. I keep things really, really quiet. Yes. So yesterday, I was watching the England match here at home. My son was out playing. He said, Dad, can you come to the shops? Can I have some money? And I'm like, oh, okay. So I walked to the shops and got him a tenner out, as you do. And then I looked at my local pub and it said open. I could hear everyone screaming about the football. And I went over to the community centre, which is the hub of our community. I went over there and I went in there and there was high trap, blah, blah, blah. I just stood there and I was looking around and I went, you watch the England game? Nah, we're not footballers in here. You watch the England game? Nah. I just stood there and I just thought to myself, might stay for Guinness. And looked up at the TV and Netherlands were playing. I just looked up and I just went. And then Sebastian was outside, so I went outside to give him his £10. He says, you going to have a beer with your friends, Dad? And I'm like, nah, son, I'm just going to go home. Just going to go home and watch the rest of the match on TV. Might as well. Why? I actually prefer my own company. Yeah, so it is what it is, isn't it? I've got used to my own company. I sort of feel relaxed, just didn't even have a beer. I just feel relaxed just sitting there by myself now. I don't need to have people around me. I don't need this. It just doesn't have much value. Yeah, but there we go. Yeah, but what I have read this morning is protests across Spain. Now, I mentioned this a video a long time ago. People went, oh, Trevor, that's wrong. That's wrong. It's not wrong. I always find out things. In Spain, they're protesting about tourists. And it's not because of what the tourists do. I want to put that across. The Spanish are protesting about what tourism brings. Because with tourism, believe it or not, because everyone wants to go and visit Barcelona, they put the prices of properties sky high so the local Spanish citizens can't afford them. They put the rent so high in certain areas that the locals can't afford the rent. It's always outside billionaires and millionaires that are having to buy these properties. And what they're doing is they're pricing out the local people. And I do get that. So I do understand why they're protesting. There's a lot about it. It's not because they hate tourists. Of course they don't. They love tourism. But what they don't like is the flip side of what tourism does to the country. And maybe it's about time that they protested in Spain rather than walking up to innocent tourists that are sitting outside restaurants having dinner and squirting them with water. That there's just pathetic. That's pathetic. It really is. Why don't they protest to the government about Why don't you bring in an incentive where overseas visitors or tourists, if they want to buy a property, they pay a certain premium, and if they want to rent, they pay a certain premium. But why not, whenever you go to buy a property or you go to rent, you show your Spanish citizenship, you show your passport, and maybe your rent drops 20% because you're a local. Maybe they should bring something in, an incentive for Spanish people, something that we don't have in the UK, but you know, it'll help. Yeah, because I do reckon that, in my opinion, without tourism in Spain, Spain's dead. It really is. It relies, it brings in billions and billions, sometimes trillions a year. It does. So look at it, but don't squirt tourists that are having dinner. It's a disgusting thing to do. Anyway, it's not long now before Spain throws tomatoes at each other and fills the streets with the red shit of tomato, and bulls fly around the streets, let go on a rampage, and Spanish people are killed. Yeah, for fun. That's what they do, yeah. Now, I read a story today which is sort of doesn't sit well with me, and it's to do with a senior British military officer who was penciled in to become the Chief of General Staff. Major General, is it James Godden? Have I got that right? Major General, did I write his name down? Did I? James Rhodes. Major General James Rhodes, who's 52, who was awarded a DSO for his leadership, mentioned dispatches, MBE, several Queen's commendations for. He put together actually a special infantry brigade. He led special forces. I mean, the guy was the creme de la creme. He's just left the military. He's resigned his commission and left because he's been found guilty in sexual misconduct. Now, before you jump at this here and go, wow, wait. He was found guilty under Section 3. Section 3 means that he touched somebody. He indecently touched somebody. Should get done for that. Now, what's happened over the years is things have been watered down that much. Now, if I was to go back to 2010, 2009, 2006, and I walked into my sergeant major's office and I handed him a birthday card. There you go, Spencer. Happy birthday. He'd be like, fuck's sake, cheers, mate. No, I'm in a meeting, just go. And I'd walk out. But today's army, if I walk into my sergeant major's office and hand him a birthday card and he looks at me and goes, what? That can be done, right? Believe it or not, you can get done for bullying and harassing because he just says, I didn't want anyone to know it was my birthday. So I then find myself under a charge of harassment and bullying for giving someone a birthday card. That's how today's law is. As well as that, it used to be able that I work with females all over the place. I'm going to use a friend of mine. I won't mention her name because she comes under. Her name's Erin, which is the name she's using on TV. I could walk in and see Erin. I spoke to Erin yesterday, actually. I could walk in and see Erin and go, Erin, happy birthday, and give her a hug. Happy birthday. Today, the law means that if I go and I give Erin a hug without her consent, I can be charged with it's a sexual crime for touching someone without their permission. That's how today's laws are. And the person that helped change them is now today's Prime Minister, believe it or not. So there we go. Yeah. It's weird. It's no wonder everyone's miserable in work today. You can't smile, you can't laugh, everyone's worried about, is this a claim? If I touch you, is this a claim? If I hug you, is this a claim? If I give you a card, is this harassment? I mean, it's because today's culture is so weak. I think they call it woke, but today's culture is so weak. So weak. I mean, for instance, I went to my son's sports day over a week ago. And when I got there, I was ushered into the centre of a field to sit on chairs with other parents. At the same time, my son's school has over 1,000 pupils at it. So the pupils were lining the running track, cheering on their friends. But parents, we weren't allowed to cheer on our children because it may offend children that are there taking part that don't have parents. Can you see the shitstorm? I was just going, wow. I mean, it's just shocking, isn't it? Yeah, it is shocking. Today's culture, isn't it? Today's culture. And Glastonbury, the Glastonbury Festival apparently has been a shitstorm. Didn't go down as well as people thought. I mean, the headliners, Dua Lipa, can't even say her name, someone called Za. Anyway, allegedly, it's never been so empty. I mean, rubbish everywhere, but it's been a failure. And now Glastonbury organisers are going, we need to improve this for next year. And next year, they're trying their best to get Eminem to headline Glastonbury, to bring it back up to where they think it should be. Yeah, well, let's see. I don't think he'll do it. Is it beneath him? No. He's made his money. He's a mega star. Will he be there? There's a possibility he might. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. Reading this morning that the new Prime Minister is already doing some tax raids on things that he said he wouldn't. And yes, he's going after the pensioners. He's going after those that are retired. And he wants to take more money from their pensions. Brilliant. Isn't it brilliant? Yeah, there we go. Yeah. Do you know what? I had this chat with my dad last night, my mum, different people. I live in England, but I had it with different people. And in my opinion, the English deserve everything they get. You voted them in, deal with it. You were told. Yep. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I've got no sympathy anymore. I'm waiting on a few things to sort of, I'm waiting on a few boxes to tick. And the minute my boxes are ticked, and I've had this chat, I'm probably going to move abroad. Yeah, exactly, I am. It'll be a lot safer. And warmer weather, less taxes, more fun. Yeah. If you live in England and you can't afford to move abroad, do it. Just do it. Don't worry about the EU. Stormer's going to put us back in there. But yeah. The weird thing is, I mean, I love where I live. It's beautiful. But I just have fallen out of love with the country. I mean, it's not a nice place to live anymore, is it? It's just not. It's just my opinion. Okay, I'm just saying. Yeah. Oh well. Even the Tory party are looking towards Nigel Farage and his party to come together for a better cause. Oh, the ones that screwed Nigel over for years and years and years. In fact, is this the Tory party? The ones that sort of said, well done, Boris, on getting Brexit when I had nothing to do with Boris. Yeah. The Tory party that brings out Boris Johnson to help promote Conservatives about what's great about Britain. But at the same time, Boris is whispering into his dad, Stanley's ear, yes, Dad, you're better off moving out of England and becoming French. Yeah. I don't think the Tory party will ever recover. They will never, they're dead now. They will never recover. If anything, the Reform Party will grow and grow and grow. I'm going to be honest, at the next election, I can see the Reform Party going from 5 MPs to possibly taking over the Liberal Democrats. I mean, people only voted for Liberal Democrats because they didn't trust Labour and they didn't trust Conservative and they didn't know what was happening with Reform. So people just went, no, don't know. Liberal Democrats, it's like your granny. You voted your granny in. I know she's not going to achieve anything because they're too old, but she's a safe pair of hands. Ex-Liberal Dems, that's it. But they'll not do anything. I mean, come on, people. How can you... In fact, I think even people voted him in for a laugh. I mean, the leader of the Liberal Dems, Ed Davey, spent the whole campaign going from theme park to adventures, log fumes and parachuting and bungee jumping, and people went, ha ha ha, he looks fun. I mean, I don't understand why people voted that guy in, but at the end of the day, he's the only leader of any party that didn't give a shit about the election. So I suppose less is more, isn't it? Oh, there we go. Well, anyway, listen, I am going to shoot on. Have a wonderful day, people. Thanks for your support. Means a lot. This is the breaking point. Means a lot. Anyway, listen, take care, people. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you all on Monday.